Imagine a country with more museums than Starbucks and McDonald's combined. Intriguing, isn't it? Welcome to the United States, a land of the unusual and the extraordinary. One such peculiarity is that this nation boasts over 35,000 museums, a number that surpasses the combined total of Starbucks and McDonald's outlets across the country. This is merely the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned as we delve into more shocking facts about the United States. The United States houses more than just skyscrapers and fast food chains. Now, this might sound like an overstatement, but let's delve into the facts. When we think of the United States, we often envision towering metropolises, sprawling suburbs, and endless highways. But did you know that the United States also boasts the highest number of volcanoes in the world? That's right. The land of the free is also the land of fire and fury, with over 170 active volcanoes. These aren't just small, inconspicuous mounds either. Many of these are colossal, awe-inspiring natural wonders that have been shaping the Earth's landscape for millions of years. From the towering peaks of Mount St. Helens to the simmering caldera of Yellowstone, the United States is a hotspot for volcanic activity. So next time you think of the US, remember, it's not just about the cities and the culture. Yes, you heard it right. The United States is the land of volcanoes. New York City was once the capital of the United States. Yes, you heard it right. It was the year 1785 when the Congress of the Confederation decided to designate New York City as the nation's capital. They found its central location quite fitting for the administrative functions of the new republic. It was here, in the old City Hall, where George Washington took his oath as the first president of the United States in 1789. But this status of New York City didn't last long. The southern states, feeling underrepresented, demanded a more centrally located capital. To settle the matter, a compromise was reached in 1790, and the capital moved to Philadelphia for a decade. Finally, in the year 1800, Washington, D.C. took over as the permanent capital, a decision influenced by President George Washington himself. So Washington, D.C. wasn't always the capital after all. In the United States, even libraries can surprise you. Imagine a library so vast it holds more than just books. Welcome to the Library of Congress, a treasure trove of knowledge and the largest library on the globe. It's not just about books here, though they do have millions of them. The Library of Congress is home to a myriad of recordings, photographs, maps, and manuscripts, making it a veritable cornucopia of information. This isn't your average library, folks. It's an institution that collects and preserves items important to the American cultural heritage and the world at large. From the first printed book in the New World, the Bay Psalm book, to the original Star-Spangled Banner manuscript, it's a place where history comes alive. It's a testament to the thirst for knowledge and the preservation of culture. A true paradise for book lovers, isn't it? Ever heard of a moving city? Well, it's not exactly a city, but let's talk about the fascinating concept of the center of population in the United States. Now, what's the center of population, you ask? It's the point that represents a balance, where the United States would balance perfectly if it were a flat surface and everyone weighed the same. Imagine it as the average location of every American. But here's the intriguing part. This center is not fixed. It shifts slightly with every census, usually moving westward and southward. This shift reflects the population changes, the migration trends, the birth rates, and even the economic factors influencing where people choose to live. In the 200 years between the first census in 1790 and the one in 1990, the center of population moved from near Baltimore, Maryland, to a spot in Missouri. The center of population, a city on the move. The iconic Statue of Liberty was a gift, but not from whom you might think. This towering symbol of freedom, standing tall in New York Harbor, was actually a present from our friends across the pond. That's right, France gifted us this colossal copper statue in the late 19th century. Designed by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, it was intended to commemorate the centennial of American independence and to symbolize the friendship between the two nations. This breathtaking monument stands as a beacon of hope, welcoming millions of immigrants who arrived on American shores in search of a better life. However, don't let its serene appearance fool you. The Statue of Liberty is a marvel of engineering, with a complex internal structure designed by none other than Gustav Eiffel. Yes, the same man who designed the Eiffel Tower. So, next time you gaze upon Lady Liberty, remember the bond of friendship and the shared values of liberty that bind France and the United States together. The Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and a gift from a friend. The United States is not just about the mainland. It's a statement that might leave you scratching your head, but it's true. When you think of America, you might picture vast plains, bustling cities, or towering mountain ranges. But it's also a nation of islands, more than you might imagine. In fact, the United States owns the most islands in the world. Yes, you heard right. It's not just Hawaii and the popular vacation destination of Puerto Rico we're talking about. There's a staggering total of over 18,000 islands under the U.S. banner. These range from the tropical territories in the Pacific Ocean to the remote and icy outposts in the Arctic Sea. Each of these islands, no matter how remote or small, tells a unique story and adds a distinct flavor to the melting pot that is the United States. So next time you imagine the U.S., remember, it's not just the mainland. The United States, a country of islands. Americans seem to have a peculiar relationship with their pennies. In the world of finance, there's an intriguing trend that's unique to the United States. It's the phenomenon of Americans hoarding pennies. Now, when we say hoarding, we're not talking about a few jars of loose change scattered around the house. We're talking about a substantial amount of money. It's estimated that there are around $62 million worth of pennies in circulation across the United States. That's a whole lot of copper and zinc. But why do Americans hoard pennies? One theory suggests that it's a combination of nostalgia and a sense of thriftiness. Pennies have been a part of the American monetary system for over 2 centuries, and there's something comforting about the weight and feel of a penny in your hand. Plus, the idea of saving those pennies, of watching them accumulate over time, can be quite satisfying. It's a physical representation of the old adage, take care of the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves. Another theory posits that penny hoarding is driven by the belief that pennies may someday be phased out, and when that happens, the hoarded pennies could suddenly increase in value. There's a certain allure to the idea of a penny potentially becoming a collector's item, and many Americans seem willing to bet on that possibility. It's also possible that Americans simply don't like spending pennies. After all, a penny doesn't buy much these days, and carrying around a pocket full of pennies can be cumbersome. So it's easier to just toss them in a jar at home. No matter the reasons, this penny hoarding trend is a testament to a unique aspect of American culture. It's a quirky blend of nostalgia, thriftiness, and optimism for the future. Americans, the ultimate penny pinchers. Finally, a fact that might leave you astounded. In the grand scheme of international deals, there's one transaction that truly stands out, not because of its enormity, but rather for its astounding modesty. Picture this. The year is 1867. The United States, a young nation, is in the process of expanding its territories, hungry for more land. They set their sights on a vast, icy expanse in the north, known today as Alaska. Now, here's where the story takes a twist. This colossal piece of land filled with boundless natural resources was not won in a war or claimed through exploration. It was purchased. The seller? None other than the Russian Empire. And the price tag, you ask? A mere $7.2 million. Less than what you'd shell out for a luxury mansion in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. The United States bought Alaska, all 660,000 square miles of it, for what equates to roughly 2 cents per acre. This deal, known as Seward's Folly, after the then Secretary of State, William H. Seward, was laughed at and ridiculed. But today, it's clear who had the last laugh. With its rich reserves of oil, gold, and other natural resources, Alaska is nothing short of a gold mine. Alaska, a bargain of the century. So there you have it. We've taken a deep dive into 10 shocking facts about the United States that may have left you astonished. We unveiled the unusual, delving into the fascinating oddities that make America truly unique. We journeyed to the Land of Volcanoes, where the fiery mountains are as numerous as they are awe-inspiring. We traced the history of the capital switch, a move that forever changed the course of the nation. We explored the Library of Congress, a testament to the power of knowledge and the written word. We pinpointed the ever-shifting center of population, a concept as dynamic as the people it represents. We admired the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of hope and freedom. We navigated the United States of Islands, a hidden archipelago within the country's borders. We exposed the Cash Hoarders, revealing a side of American wealth often overlooked. Lastly, we shared the final fact, a surprise that ties it all together. Stay tuned for more shocking facts from around the world. Until then, keep exploring.